Hello YouTube, how's it going? So I'm here in a 2013 Toyota Rav4 LE. I'm gonna just be taking a tour of the interior again, looking at some of the materials, the design, and the overall build quality here. Getting a little feel some of Toyota's newer designs. This is a 2013, so we'll just take a quick tour around, see what's going on here. Okay. So, coming to the center, starting here as usual. If you noticed, Toyota has included quite a number of cubbies and bins here to stash stuff. You got one cup holder, two, and some binnacles over there. In terms of materials used, well, let's take a look here. We have some rubberized bottom there, but this is actually an insert that, you know, if you have a bigger drink, you'd stick that in there. So this is rubberized, and then down here is just hard plastic. So I want to keep that in there for the most part. The center console is all, you know, hard plastic, you know, coming all the way on the side here. This is all hard, all the way over here. And if you notice, this is some carbon fiber look trim that goes up around the shifter, shift gate, up around here, and up to this cup holder over here. And it actually looks pretty nice. It's got a nice look to it, but it is hard plastic. I do appreciate that though. Over here we have the indicators, the gear indicators, which is pretty nicely done. And over here you have the shift gate and this shifter over here, which is plastic, no leather to speak of over here. But it is, you know, it's pretty nice looking. Over here, this cup holder is ringed with, you know, this metallic look. This is obviously plastic once again. This is a Toyota. Over here, these binnacles are a little bit rubberized. At least this one is anyway. This one just has a little bit of surface here, just to hold on to stuff a little bit better. It's not rubberized though. And coming over here, you can see that this trim, again, plastic coming up. It looks okay, I guess. It's not as convincing as some of the other metallic, you know, look-alike silver paint plastic trims I've seen. Over here you do have some more buttons. Some missing spots for buttons here in a higher trim level. This is the LE version again. And again, you know, they're alright. I mean, they feel decently constructed, but again, it's not a Lexus, it's not an Acura, it's not a luxury car, so they're not going to be really well put together here. Toyota, very reliable, but at the same time, you know, I think they've been skimping on some of the materials lately, and we'll see up here that's the case. So over here, if you notice, this is very interesting. They have this, what would appear at first to be leather stitching in a Toyota, but in reality, it's just hard plastic all the way over here. And I don't understand this. I don't know what they're really trying to do here. Give it maybe an upscale look, but if it has the look without the, you know, without the feel, it's not really worth anything to me. Now over here you do have these big knobs, and this is a RAV4, so you can sort of see using these with gloves on or something like that. They're not really rubberized. It's just sort of, you know, a textured plastic. This is a pretty convincing chrome trim actually, but it is again, that is plastic. Over here, same thing, and these all feel like they're mechanical. You can sort of feel stuff. You can feel and hear stuff clicking and moving into place behind when you spin this. Same thing over here. They have a nice action to them actually. They feel like they're in there pretty well. Over here again, you can feel that mechanical linkage going into the circulation system there. But everything feels okay. You know, one thing that, you know, I can appreciate is that nothing really feels loose or squeaks or creaks when you push on it or apply pressure. That doesn't really happen anywhere in this car that I've noticed so far. Over here you have this black plastic trim, or more of a grayish plastic, around with all these buttons, which have a, you know, a nice damped feel to them. Don't make too much noise. Same thing up here. This one feels kind of like it's there's no indentations or anything like that. It's just very smooth action. I think I like it when there's indentations better, because it gives you a better idea how much you're turning it. Same thing over here. This one does have a little indentations though. You can hear that. Okay, these air vents are very chunky. If you notice, there's only 3 louvers, and they feel a little chintzy when you move them around. Not really any kind of trim on them or anything like that. They're not as nice as some other vents I've seen, and you know, obviously a car in this price range can't really be expecting too much there. But they are functional, and you know, they work as intended. They don't get moved around by the air coming out of them. Up here, if you notice, it's the same trim that was down here. It's a little bit dark. There we go. It's the same trim up here. It's this hard plastic that goes all the way across, that aluminum look. It's not real aluminum, of course, but and it's not even one of the better imitations I've seen. So I don't even know if that's what they were going for here, but it could be better. And over here, if you notice, this of course, this area next to the glove box under the dash is all hard plastic, and the glove box itself is all hard plastic, and it's damped, but it doesn't have any sort of felt lining or anything like that. Coming in here, you have another little cubby to store things, and this is rubberized, which is nice, so stuff won't come flying out of there. And it has a little bit of a lip here, so stuff won't come out of there too easy. Now, up here, if you notice, something interesting is this center air vent, which only has a on and open or close function, and there's really no direction, which it just comes straight out. And this whole section of dash up here, if you notice, it's all hard plastic. So I think that in Toyotas of past, this has actually been soft a lot of times. But in this RAV4, they've gone for the plastic, and the graining on it could certainly be a little bit better. It looks okay, but again, it's not the best material. Same thing over here. You see the speaker is integrated into the top dash here. It's not in the pillar like a lot of them are. And coming over here, you see the same thing. The same gray plastic trim comes all the way around the instrument cluster, all the way around and down. And take a look at the instruments themselves. They look okay. Big and clear, easy to read, suitable for a car like this. And over here, if you notice this is a big, sort of chunky air vent. It doesn't have any, a dial there. You just sort of close it like that, and that's supposed to keep everything out if you don't want it. And it has an interesting design. If you notice, this moves as one section here. You don't see that too often. A lot of times, these will be louvers that sort of close. You've seen maybe in a Camaro has something similar, but this one you just sort of spin it, and the whole thing moves together as one piece, which is kind of interesting design. Coming over here, you see a lot of times, most cars nowadays, this will be soft touch because a lot of people rest their arms on here, and it makes sense for that to be soft. Unfortunately, this RAV4, this is all hard, coming all the way around here, and you have this same plastic trim coming all the way down. The only place where it is soft is over here. So this is sort of a soft cloth material, which is pretty soft to the touch, but this gets dirty, and it shows marks and stains and things like that real easily. Again, you have that same carbon fiber look over here, which is using the center console, and these I don't know if you can notice this, but these buttons over here are kind of just in a really awkward spot. I mean, you have to bend your wrist at sort of a weird angle to reach them, and on top of that, they're kind of dated feeling, these buttons. They feel like they're real big. Again, for a car like this, maybe you're wearing gloves, that's a good thing, but on the other hand, they just they feel cheap. A lot of these controls feel a little bit lower quality in here. The door locks feel pretty substantial though, if you hear that. They're pretty big too, so that's pretty nice. Come over here, see some more buttons down here. Again, these are all just in there, little buttons, mirrors, everything over here. So you get that faux leather plastic over here. It's all hard to the touch. You have the four-wheel drive over here, engage, disengage the differential. Over here you see some interesting levers. If you notice, this isn't really a stalk so much as it is just a big lever. A lot of times, you know, it's thin over here and comes out and you have this on the end, but in this case the whole thing is just the stalk there, which is sort of an interesting idea. Same thing over here, just a real stubby little stalk, again suited to the vehicle, I would say. Now the steering wheel, again, Toyota's done the same stitching, this faux leather stitching around again, and I think while it does improve the overall look of the vehicle, it's really insubstantial. I think you're better off just doing without it. Over here, that same plastic metallic trim. I think it looks nicer on here than it does throughout the rest of the car, though. You have these buttons over here. They feel okay. Everything feels well screwed together for the most part, although not particularly, you know, well oiled or real super accurate. But, you know, again, you can sort of, you know, I mean, this is a big button. It just doesn't really have to be like that. And the steering wheel itself, in this case, is the LE again. This is just all plastic. Has a little bit of a difference here if you notice the texturing changes. I guess they're going for, they have some sporting intentions with this vehicle for one reason or another. This is a bigger bolster than I've seen in a lot of other cars that are much faster than this. And if you notice, the materials are the same over here on this door, of course. And coming back over here, the mat pockets and everything like that obviously is, again, hard plastic in a car like this. And it's not felt lined or anything like that in here, or rubberized or anything. Although I will give Toyota credit that a lot of their plastic molds like this come out pretty clean, and generally there's not a whole lot of mold marks left. So those little plastic ridges that sometimes you could cut yourself on, they're pretty good about that. Those are all shaved down. Okay, so if you see a screen, again, we didn't really look at this, but this is a nice screen. It looks okay, and for the most part, that's it with the dash and everything over here. The headliner is a typical cloth material used in a lot of cars. It comes down over here, ends right here. This begins the plastic, which has that same headliner look. Sometimes this will be all cloth, sometimes not. And then coming over here, if you notice, again, sometimes this will be cloth. In certain cars, headliner comes all the way down, but this is all cloth over here. And materials carry through to the rear, all the same stuff back there, including that soft area, put your arm. Okay, and lastly, coming up to this the middle, section here where you can control. Everything is feels like it's in there pretty well. Again, I was just in my Honda Accord recently, and I feel like this Toyota, even though it's obviously a newer car, this one feels a little bit better put together in terms of things creaking and squeaking like that. I feel like this is going to stay better over time. Okay? And in terms of things like fit and finish, panel gaps, things like that, you know, if you look, they're actually pretty good. Things meet pretty close together. You know, the glove box, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of dark, but over here where the glove box meets the console there, it's a very thin, there, I can kind of make it out now, it's a very thin gap, and it's very consistent too over here. So that's very good. Everything is put together very well. Not really any gaps here. Just the use of materials has sort of gone down in quality over the years with Toyota. So while the car is a little bit better put together, it's put together with lower quality materials, at least in my opinion here. Overall, not bad. Coming over here, just a couple more things quick. They've done the same thing with this faux leather treatment on the emergency brake, or the handbrake, and this is just a plastic button over here. And finally, the glove, or the armrest over here. This is soft touch. It's not leather. It's relatively soft, and if you open it over here, you'll see it does have some padding in there, just on the bottom like that, and you can see it's connected via this via this big hinge over here, so that's probably not going to be breaking anytime soon or anything like that. So, designed relatively well, you know. Like it's probably not going to come loose or rattle or anything like that. It does, you know, it does wiggle a little bit though. So overall, that's it for the RAV4. If you have any questions, comments, again, anything like that, feel free to ask. If you need more detail, I guess one last thing I should do is, before I finish this up, is take a look at the weatherproofing. I like to take a look at that too. You notice here, this is actually very thin but soft. Almost feels like a different material than a lot of other cars use. It's kind of weird. It feels almost like a different kind of plastic. Very soft though, if very thin too. I come over here, you can see, comes up, and just the general one level of weatherproofing here. So. Well, obviously it's gonna maybe not have the best sound isolation, but it should do okay. Let's just go back. And again, over here, like I mentioned before, with the Accord, some manufacturers will have that little bit of body showing over here, but this is actually just they do have this in place here, this black strip, where this obviously this is the rubber, it's the window, and then here's where you might see the body in another car, you know. All right, and that's it for now. Again, if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, feel free to ask. If you want more detail, less detail next time, if I'm missing anything, I skipped anything, let me know. I'd certainly like to touch on pretty much everything. And just let me know what you think. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.